Welcome back, another episode here on the Richter Show. And today we are at the Space Center in Huntsville, Alabama. So join me and I will show you some places around and I'll give you a little explanation of it. So as soon as you arrive, this is actually the main entrance, and you would see it right after you park your vehicle in the parking lot. It's just a very short walk until you actually get to the museum itself. As you can see, it's just right ahead. Now, this is one of the exhibits that you can actually appreciate and take a look at when it's actually on the outside. Right before you enter the museum, it will be to your right hand side, and there is a little bit of an explanation right next to it if you want to take some time to read up on it. It is one of the original ones, and there's the name of it actually, of the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, and that's something that we are going to look at a little bit further down in the video as well. Now, this is actually the place where you pay your entrance fee, and then once you have paid and got your ticket, then this is the main hallway right into where the actual museum is at. So here are actually some examples of some rovers that have been already to other planets like Mars. You can appreciate them. And that's one thing you'll see here, which is a lot of rockets, a lot of replicas and parts as well. And this is actually a bit new, which is the astronaut suit for SpaceX from Elon Musk. And now that's actually Space Camp over there. I cannot enter there unless if you're actually doing the Space Camp program, which is something neat to do as well. You can get to learn more. And here's another area which kind of mimics the space station. There's some hydrated food, so you have an idea of what astronauts actually eat up in space. And there's a lot of videos and samples. That's a view of what it will look like if you were in the space station looking down at Earth. So it's actually pretty neat to have a little bit of a sense of how it is and how it would feel like if you were actually in the ISS. And once again, that's more space camp things that you can go and do if you're part of the program. So it's really neat to see all these monitors and levers and buttons to have an idea of how everything actually works and looks like. And of course, there is an outside area. Like I mentioned, there is a lot of rockets. Most of these are not actually in use anymore. They're just replicas or just some that are not in circulation anymore. And alongside, you will see a lot of military equipment. Most of it, once again, is things that are just not used nowadays, but it's part of history, so it's really neat to look at. Over there is part of the replica of the International Space Station as well, and a lot of helicopters, a lot of machinery from the military, from the US Army. So there is a lot that you can look at. I mean, I can't really film everything because it's just too much. And more boosters right there to your left. Now, this is the other part of the museum. This is actually inside of another building, which really just connects after you pass the area where all the rockets are outside. And you do get to fiddle with a couple of the equipment, so you can have a feel of what it is to be an astronaut if you are inside of one of the capsules, which is actually what I'm in. And it's a very tight spot, very tight area, and a lot of buttons and stuff. So in this area, you can actually see the actual boosters. You can learn about them. You can see the pods as well, the spacecrafts. So it's actually very educational. It's very complete. There's a lot of little items like these, as you can see, and it shows you a line of like history of how things have evolved and all the accomplishments that have been made by mankind to this point. Once again, these are a lot of just parts, which is interesting to learn about and how it was built and what everything does. And here are more mechanical parts as well. It's very complete. There's a lot of information everywhere, so you can spend the whole day here just reading up on everything. Now, this is actually my most favorite part of the whole museum. This is from Apollo 16. This is the actual capsule that went into space and came back to Earth, and you can see it at this museum only, which is pretty amazing. Like I said, it is my favorite part of the museum. And here is a lunar module example, and that way you can actually fiddle with the commands and the controls. I did that for a little bit so you can try to land the lunar module, which is actually pretty neat and interesting to do yourself. It's not as easy as people may think, especially looking out through a little window. You have to try to make it land. And over here is just a assumption of what a spacecraft could have looked like if it would have been sent out in space and people living in it. This is actually something that never got done, but it's interesting to see how ahead they were when they were doing the space program. And once again, another one of these rockets when you go to outside area that's close to that second part. So going through the arm simulation when you go on the actual rocket itself. If you enjoy videos like these, don't forget to like and subscribe here only on The Richter Show. See you on the next Museum Adventure Review.
Shout out to the host, the Richter. This the Richter Show, the Richter Show.